back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Golf and Phi. Now, of course, Phi, I have to apologize.
Yes.
I say Sahafam, and then I even wrote down Sahafam. It was Sahapat. Yes, so it was two different things because Saha Farm was doing farming.
The agricultural
poultry.
aids.
Yes, Sahapat, there you go. Just to clear that off for you there. Apologize, I'm sorry. Now let's move on to another news. Of course, at this point, there has been a lot of people right here in Thailand that have relatives or at least children that might went abroad, especially study in Egypt, are very concerned about the situation there. I would not say that is, became a little bit more peaceful, but apparently, according to Thai authorities at this point, is not yet reached level 4. And the level 4 would be the level where we need to evacuate everyone that stay there. Apparently at this point, according to Thai authorities, they say that, no, we're not quite there yet, but if you're interested in coming back, you can. You can contact the embassy in Cairo and of course, getting yourself back here. Now they say that of course the first group of people came back on the 19th at about 249 of them. And they say that, that the 249 of them were actually on the second group of people, which is just arrived last night. And they say that they came in 2 flights altogether, 119 on one flight, and another flight was has about 130 people on the flight. So altogether, 249 people at this point for the first 2 groups that arrived right here in Thailand. They already accounted for 614 people of Thai residents that actually went to Egypt, came back 614 out of the 900 that said that they would like to come back. Now, the embassy said that at this point, there's still about 300 people remaining in Egypt that actually they try to find a way to bring them back. However, it will no longer be a charter flight. They probably try to find some way to bring them back. And like I mentioned, the authorities think that is not at the level 4 yet because they believe that the Egyptian government were able to stabilize the situation at certain point. That's what they say. We're not sure which point that was, but it still looks quite scary. Exactly. So I'm not sure. However, they say that there has been a report once again yesterday came up at the Cairo itself saying that about 40 of the students that's staying in Cairo right now, as well as 20 of the workers, actually went to contact the embassy and said that they would like to come back. So 60 more people. So we're looking at perhaps around 360 altogether that we're hoping, are thinking right now of coming back, but they probably will have to find a way to come back because apparently we're not doing a charter flight anymore. I'm not sure why. However, they say that there's a center that opened up to actually receive all these complaints and such. And they say that the 400 students that came back at this point received a survey that will actually asking them whether or not they would like to return to Egypt after the situation became normal. And if they do, then the center will find a way to actually get them there, or whether or not they would like to perhaps transfer their credits and study right here in Thailand. So they have that option for the Thai students. As for the workers, there's no report of what would be done for them at this point.
But seriously, from the situation in Egypt, it might take a lot of time, probably some more months in order to stabilize the situation. Because it's very serious and it is not normal, especially in the Middle East.
Right, it's quite scary, and I think that a lot of people, like some students say that, oh, it's not that bad. I've heard like gunfires and such, but I came back because my family were so concerned. That's why the reason they came back. But I think that, for people that living so far away to see that kind of images and, it just it raised a lot of concerns. Let's just put it that
God
way.
bless them. And as bad as it can get in the down south of Thailand, there's an incident yesterday, Kungov, which is very really sad for people down there, especially officers on duty. Yesterday, officers and police has been informed of the bomb explosion on the Sai Wang Sukirin route in Narathiwat province, and at the scene they found parts of bomb devices, 20 kilograms bomb devices, and also they found a hole of 1 foot deep and 2 feet wide, and also 2 feet wide, and also a pool of blood. At the scene, there were no dead, luckily, but 4 people were seriously injured, including a 62-year-old local, an 8-year-old boy, and also 2 others. They are security volunteers in the Wang district of Narathiwat province. And in separate cases, police in Rusa district had raided a particular house that they believe to be a hiding place of the insurgent who started the attack on the police car on August the 16th, which killed 4 officers on duty. And in there, they arrested 2 men and also a T-shirt, which is an evidence that it was a shirt that the culprit wore, and they were seen on the CCTV footage, and they got a tip off in order to raid this particular house. And also in Pattani province, Kungov, the Ban Prachan school has been closed for a week after the incident where a teacher was killed in the drive-by shooting on Monday. And yesterday, there seems to be 11 more schools that should be closed temporarily, possibly throughout this week for safety reasons. And they also canceled the sporting event, the Sayang Games, which has been planned in the area as well for safety reasons. Officers said that the 12th school will be reopening as usual next Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, I think this is a smart move that they close down the school, because the thing is, once, you cannot really control the situation if it's situated right next to school, because the chances are students will pass by the area.
Yes.
We have heard so many times of bomb explosion really close to the school area, but even though there haven't, been any report of students actually got injured.
There were
but
drive-by shootings, bomb explosion planted on the local road.
Exactly.
And a normal road that local people traveling every day.
So civilians, it's not even just, the officers anymore. Now, moving on to another case that we have been reporting since the beginning of the week, obviously, well, this is the 3rd day already. Now, we're talking about the case where a body was found tried to be burnt, at least, that the culprit tried to burn down the body just alongside the road there. However, at this point, we actually have heard that perhaps it was the person that was a friend or perhaps her boyfriend that actually did this. Now, this is the body of Kun Kankanit Suthon Ratta was found on the roadside in Ayutthaya province. And of course, yesterday there have been a report that Kun Chakapan Kandara or Kun Boy, who at first people believed that, or the reporters believed that to be the boyfriend, turned out to be her best friend's boyfriend, or well, at this point I don't think you can call that a best friend anymore, her close friends. Now, they say that they didn't come up with the name of the girlfriend of Kun Chakapan yet. However, this particular person, the girlfriend of his, actually a good friend with the victim, Kun Kankanit. Now, they say that the girlfriend actually borrowed the money from Kun Kankanit, about 300,000 to 400,000 baht, and weren't able to pay back. So the first case that we reported, the first information that came up was that it was Kun Chakapan who took out the loan. Apparently, it's turned out that it was his girlfriend, who also a good friend of the victim, was the one that took out the loans and could not pay back. So obviously the victims actually took her car, the Nissan March that you can see there earlier, the green ones, and try to get 300,000 baht out of that particular car. However, at this point, they say that they were able to arrest Kun Chakapan, the culprit, but they could not find the girlfriend just yet. Now, they believe that the strugglings as well as the killing might have happened in this particular car. So they will have to investigate a little bit further onto this case, whether or not that was actually a crime scene, because they say that according to the investigator, at the inside the car itself, they say that they have seen a little bit of a bump, that a dent, excuse me, not a bump, a dent in front of a car. So they believe that it looks like it either being kicked or perhaps, who knows, it might be, smashed into something. However, at this point, they're going to have to take a look at it because it was at the one of those garage at the time to be fixed. So the police were able to confiscate it on time because before it's actually being fixed. So at this point, that would be part of the evidence to be looked at. But at least they were able to arrest Kun Jakapan already in Bangkok. Actually, he did not flee far, but at this point, his girlfriend, the person that started it all, there hasn't been any disclose of her name or her whereabout.
Good thing. Moving on to some more updates of the oil situation in Rayong province, which I believe shouldn't be getting this.
I kind of suspect that there's going to be,
complicating.
There's going to be more because there's no way you can clean up that 50,000 liters of crude oil.
If it's just 50,000 as they've claimed.
That's his claim, the 50,000.
And with the clean beaches in Rayong province, that seems to be something.
In Summit Island.
In Summit
Right.
Island, yes, the Heavily Island. This time there seems to be some more evidence of the oil slick that has been washed up ashore. People in Ma Pim district, the officers in Rayong, in Klang district, of the Rayong province, reported to authorities that they found the oil slick that has been washed up ashore in the Gan Summit beach down the way to Ma Pim Bay, which is like 10 kilometers in 10 kilometers that has been covered with the oil slick, the dark black oil slick, and moreover, they found that there were date fish, very special species,
the evidence.
Not the normal species.
Okay.
Pla pakapao, I'm not sure what she's.
The blowfish.
Yes.
Oh, they found
The dead fish coated with the oil slick.
See, I
on
knew
the
it.
beach.
I knew it. It's going
Right?
to get into all the marine lives. I knew it.
Yes, and they were washed up ashore. Apart from that, so they tried to collect the sand that had been coated with the oil slick, and they were gathered like 3 tons of the sand, the coated sand, and after that they dropped the bags of this collected sand in front of the PTT headquarters in Rayong province.
Good move.
Yes.
Well played. Actually, that's actually quite nice because, if someone's going to have to look after those tainted sand would be
It's
the
a
PTT.
right? And officers reported that the oil slick that they saw on the bay or the beach might be the toxic substances that they used earlier to clean the oil slick on the beach before, and they were washed up ashore by the strong waves. And it was like the carbol, they call it the carbol or the tarbol, the ball that
Of crude oil, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. See, that's the thing, because PTT came out and said that, they claimed that it was clean, and this is going to hurt the business in Rayong most definitely, because we just reported yesterday, Kun Tulip talked about this yesterday, about how Rayong province are, business sector, local authorities try to get together and create a good image to ask people to go back into Rayong area, perhaps if it's not Summit, then somewhere else. But in Klang, that's quite a bit further away.
Yes. And get this, yesterday there was cabinet meeting, and they refused to endorse the ministry report of the excessive mercury levels they found in the seawater of the Ao Prao beach in Got Summit.
It was 2.9 times higher than a normal level. That's acceptable.
The cabinet source said that the energy minister had questioned the feasibility of the figure at yesterday's cabinet meeting, and they said that the mercury levels in the crude oil were never higher than 28 times above the safety standard.
Okay.
So they couldn't have been as high as alleged, given that.
Like, how high do you need it to go? Like, that was quite high. All right.
But not as high as reported in the allegations.
About 1 time less. Kind of
So
thing.
the cabinet did not endorse the report, which would give the way for officers to investigate further.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because the thing is, like, I'm up for, create a good economy and such, but you have to do it under the principle that people's health should not be threatened by
Yes.
that particular economic growth. You know what I mean? So, all right. Well, with that, we're going to take a short break, and we have a fun updates in politics for you.
Very
You can find-
entertaining.
Yeah, very entertaining. So please stay tuned.